Hello, I'm Chris Williams, and today we're going to be reviewing the new Marvel team-up featuring Spider-Man and Ms. Marvel, Issue 1. Alright, the cover by Stefano Caselli and Tyrone Farrell is... Once again, it shows two characters rushing at the viewer. Alright, it's drawn well, and the city looks nice. Spider-Man looks... he's decently drawn. Miss Marvel is, of course... I think she looks a little worse drawn than Spider-Man, but workable. The artwork, what can I other say about it? The coloring is washed out. The buildings are just washed out in just a bland beige color, but both Spider-Man and Miss Marvel barely pop out with their own colors. Now the first page here, well, it just shows Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel, as it lists who worked on this comic book. It also is a primer for being the intro to this segment of this issue that deals with Spider-Man. See, this issue comes in two parts, which is really annoying. See, we start it with Spider-Man starting his day. He's shaving and he gets dressed while his friend tells him to hurry up and get out there. He's needed at the university so that he can do a promo for a friend to announce her new project. And the artwork here by Joey Vagares is bad. It's just boring. It's barely there, and it's more or less cartoonish. Look at that finger. Is that supposed to be a finger or a pop stick? It's so almost flat looking, it's embarrassing. And their faces aren't that well drawn either. I think he's trying to go for maybe Joe Madeira or what's his name? The guy who's currently doing the Amazing Spider-Man. You know, the guy who used to work on Generation X, Humberto Ramos. Because this looks like he's trying to do his kind of artwork, but not very well, because Humberto Ramos' art is much better than this, which here is just boring. Here we have Peter, Spider-Man in his secret identity, as he greets his old friend, Yashina, or pardon me, Dr. Rosario, the innovator. She responds well, I'm already found innovative ways to spill coffee on myself this morning. Well, he does the intro, and he tells the audience who listens to his speech that she's great. He leaves the stage to applause, as everyone really likes his speech, and she goes out there to announce her new project. And what happens is Spider-Man feels something, so he goes off, changes into costume, and he starts climbing into the rafters. He's going to be into the shadows so he can check out the stage and see what's happening. And he finds out it's the Jackal. Here I thought the Jackal was dead. And I thought he also his costume had become his skin, or whether he had genetically engineered himself into a kind of green, almost goblin form himself. I've never really liked that about the Jackal. He looks too much like the Green Goblin. And he doesn't come off as any better either. I thought he probably was created to be a sort of an answer to the fact that they killed off Spider-Man's arch nemesis. Well, either way, we switch over to the B plot of this comic book, which is starting with Kamala Khan. She even gets her own page that started the comic book with Spider-Man, with it just listing who worked on the comic book again, or at least showing Spider-Man rushing at the viewer. And then it starts with Kamala Khan in her own bathroom, combing her hair and trying to get ready for school. She barely makes it to her bus while her teacher says, "Okay, class, let's get going. Now we're running really behind." And he is angry, and she looks stupid because she's one of those geeky little teenagers that can't do anything right, trying to be the ordinary normal girl. And it is just bland and boring, and the artwork doesn't help this story at all. I mean, honestly, it's so blocky and boring artwork, and that bus is obviously a 3D model. Here we have the teacher telling her students to sit down and be quiet. Kamala Khan sits next to her best friend, the one she crippled, who apparently is also in love with her, or at least he looks like he's in love with her. And they exchange banter, saying that the doctor who likes to go by the nom de guerre innovator is one of the top researchers in being able to digitize people's brain waves and being able to tape it. And we see Peter Parker on the stage, and he goes into his speech, and Kamala Khan asks, "Isn't it Dr. Parker?" While her friend says that was stripped away because it apparently plagiarized some stuff from Dr. Octopus. Well, in reality, Dr. Octopus had been using his body, and that was his own research. But either way, Peter Parker is no longer a doctor. Well, after that, Peter's friend comes aboard, and she explains how her technology to copy people's memories onto a digital device will allow people who have Alzheimer's or brain damage to be able to remember things, or at least be able to plant those memories back into their mind so that they can remember again, or for people who just want to be able to remember those moments more clearly. And as she's saying this, someone comes on the stage saying, "Perfect, it's the Jackal." And he says that her device will help him increase and improve his own cloning technology, being able to perfectly replicate the memories of those he clones. Kamala Khan's friend, or I should say Miss Marvel's friend now, because she's going to change into costume, says, "Go out, go, just go and stop this guy, okay?" And she says, "I gotta go," and she go as he says that, and she goes and changes into costume, and she ends up turning into a little person, and then she flings and grows into a giant, and it's just bad cartoon art here. This isn't even comic book art. That's just cartoon art. You couldn't make it look a little better? I mean, Luffy looks cooler than this. Oh yeah, this sort of looks like One Piece art, doesn't it? Only bad. And this is bad artwork. Let's see. Joey Vegares should be embarrassed for himself. And what happens? See, both the parts of the comic book end pretty much with the same parts of this issue being repeated, but from different people's perspectives. But I decided to use the segments that I think will look good on this for this review. Here we have Spider-Man in the rafters. He swings down and he gets ready to punch out the Jackal. Well, Kamala Khan looks on. Well, she thought she had this, and she sees Spider-Man upstage her. And he tells her to make everyone out of the building, and she does that. But she learns from the doctor that the doctor said her device to self-destruct if anyone but her was using it. And she tells Spider-Man to get out of there. While Spider-Man is still loyal to his friend, he tries to disarm the explosive because he doesn't want to have to see her rebuild it. And what happens is that he doesn't do it, and the device explodes. And what happens? Because it's a device that works with people's memories, their minds have now been exchanged. So they look at each other and they say, "Wait a minute, why am I over there? And and the other guy, and Spider-Man says, why am I over there?" And they just realize, I'm Spider-Man. No, I'm Kamala Khan. Spider-Man is in Kamala Khan's body. That's what Spider-Man is thinking. Well, he thinks I'm in Miss Marvel's body. Oh God. And this is how the comic ends. It's just silly Billy and boring. And another mind switch series where Spider-Man's in the body of a girl this time instead of being in Dr. Octopus's body. And that's just boring. This is just boring. You could have gone longer than doing another series like this, Marvel. Well, that's all I have to say. If you like this review, subscribe. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that bell for notifications and hit that like button. Also, leave some comments down below. And remember, keep checking back in future videos for more information on my own upcoming independent comic book, Scumdogs. I'm Chris Williams, and I'm signing out.